Welcome back, Petalheads, and if you're new to the channel, I'm Stu from Petals on the Paving Slabs. Here's a little update on the seeds which I sowed in the last video I uploaded. On the left there's 4 blocks of flat leaf parsley which have only just germinated in the last few days, and then we've got some chives here on the right which are doing fantastic. So when the chives get bigger I will be planting them outside in one of the plastic planters in my alleyway, along with the flat leaf parsley, but they'll be later. I would have thought it'll take longer before I plant those out, and they're not ready yet. So here's my latest plant haul, which I'm going to use to fill up one of the large black square planters which I showed you in the last video. All the holes have been drilled in, I just need to put the compost and get these all important plants in. So we've got some hyacinths, daffodils which are still in flower, so they'll be nice. Tete-a-tete I think the daffodils were, I've no idea what the hyacinths were. I've got a bleeding heart Dicentra, although I'm sure I remember a few years ago when I was last actively gardening that Dicentra have changed the name. I still call them Dicentra, and I've seen shops that sell them still call them Dicentra, so I could be wrong. Leave a comment, let me know. Has Dicentra changed its name? But the common name bleeding heart remains. And I've also got some Violas just to plug in any little gaps around the bulbs once they're all in the pot. Right, it's time to bring out that beast of a pot then. Drainage holes have already been pre-drilled. I haven't got the stuff. I used to have little piles of things around the backyard in the garden at my last house, you know, piles of stones, pebbles, bits of polystyrene, all of which I'd used to put in the bottom of pots, and crocks as well, broken ceramic plant pots and things like that. But I haven't got that kind of thing anymore, so I'm just filling it straight in with the compost. First into the pot is the Dicentra bleeding heart. I want this as the centerpiece of the pot. Now it is quite blanched, so like the stems are white. It's been deprived of sunlight while it's been sitting in that cardboard box in the shop until it was sold. But once it's potted up, bit of weather outside, some sunlight, some rain, and the temperatures are slowly creeping up as well. It's getting slightly warmer at night. Now we're not talking past the sun cream, where's my sunglasses, but it's that time of year now, so it should do okay. It'll give it a few weeks and I reckon it'll burst into health and life and start remembering that it's a plant, and it'll turn green and start growing. Next I'm going to pop in the hyacinths. Now a man of my tastes shouldn't really enjoy the scent of hyacinths as much as I do, because I would describe it as a classic old lady's floral perfume, but I love it. It's just good, straight, old-fashioned, no messing about. You know what you're going to get. I like the smell of hyacinths. In fact, we used to have a line of hyacinths when we had an allotment plot, and they were up near where my greenhouses were. So if you look back on old videos, you'll be able to picture where they were. Also, may I draw your attention to some extra videos I've made in a playlist on this channel. The playlist is called The Meaning of Plants. I have videos in the Meaning of Plants playlists for the bleeding heart, the hyacinths and the daffodils. Interesting videos, they're not long, won't take much of your time, and what I do is I explain what different plants mean to different people in different parts of the world. You know, the different names, stories, mythologies, poems connected to certain plants. I had a lot of fun making that series. I need to get back into it, make some more, but as you can see I haven't got that many plants to film at the moment. So, and some of the ones I have got I've already made Meaning of Plants videos about, so I need to get my thinking cap on and work out a way that I can explore other people's gardens until I increase the size of my little paradise in these pots in my alleyway. I'll look at other people's gardens, film them and make more Meaning of Plants videos. Bring on the daffodils. Tete-a-tete. It's classed as a dwarf variety. The stems go up to about 15 centimetres. It'll flower March and April. If you're going to buy the bulbs and you want to grow your own from bulb and you're not going to cheat like I have and bought pre-grown plants, you plant your bulbs early autumn and they will come up the next year. You'll start seeing signs of life January, really. You'll see the little green shoots poking up through the soil. So these plants I bought from a mixture of places. Co-op. I've got a couple of co-ops near me. And the violas I got from the supermarket Tesco's. I thought the price of the co-op plants was actually quite good value. So if you look there, $1.25 a pot for these tete-a-tete daffodils. And there's quite a decent amount in each pot there. And then the hyacinths were, was it £3 a pot? And there's 3 hyacinths in each pot, so works out as £1 a hyacinth. Money well spent, in my opinion. To cover up some of the bare soil that's in the pots, and you know, just give me something else nice to look at, some more pretty colours to look at, and also with the benefit of where you've got a plant a weed can't grow. It's good advice that. Someone told me that years ago, and it's very good advice. So just filling up the pot, I'm going to pop in a couple of viola clumps. I once saw on, I think it was an old episode of Gardener's World a few years ago, Monty Don was saying if you're planting, try and use odd numbers for clumps, 3s, 5s, it looks more natural. I can't explain it, but he's right, it does. So I've gone for 2 interlocking triangles, 3 clumps each of the daffodils, 3 clumps each of the hyacinths. So I've followed that advice there with the daffs and the hyacinths. What I've not followed it with is the one Dicentra in the middle and the 2 clumps of violas, which I'm just going to fill some space up with. But it does look good. Odd numbers, 3s and 5s. Try and remember that. A final look at the pots before I go and put it outside. Look at all that concrete. It's not good, is it? That's why I've got plant pots. So I can't believe I've been just staring at that concrete for the last 2 years and only realised recently, come on Stu, pull your finger out, get some plant pots. So here's what we've got so far. Edibles, 2 alpine strawberries, and oh, is it oregano or marjoram? Ah, name escapes me. The pot we've just made, and then another pot which I did in the last video. This one has got some clumps of forget-me-nots in, which are babies which have grown from seed from a group of 3 forget-me-not plants which I took from my granddad's house years ago on the day of his funeral, and this one here has just started to flower. Beautiful. Thanks for watching, guys.